What's up, everyone? Kyle here. I am super excited to let you all know that my first published book is out now. It's called Travel Tips, a 20-something's comprehensive guide for traveling in the modern world. It's available on doranceBookstore.com, I believe is the website. It's going to be available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble on their online websites soon as well. And you can also get a copy directly from me. You can just email me at ourtravelexperiences@outlook.com, and we can talk about a book, and I'll get a signed copy to you. I'm super excited to share it with you all. This was a dream come true for me, a bucket list item in the making, and I'm super excited to share it all with you now. So go check it out, everyone. There will be a link in the description below, and enjoy the episode. All right, welcome everyone. This is Our Travel Experiences. I'm your host, Kyle Rasmussen, and today I have with me two good friends, Michaela and Danny. How are you guys today?
Hey, good.
Good, glad to hear it. Yeah, like I was saying before we jumped on here, this is my first three-way call. And I know we're all in different time zones and different parts of the country, so we'll see how this works today. But hopefully it goes well.
Awesome.
Yeah. So just to kind of start out, Michaela and Danny, how did you guys meet and really decide to start traveling together?
Yeah, so Danny and I met in college. We were roommates, actually. So we went to school in Chicago, and he was like you would randomly place with us, right, Danny? Like, I did not know you.
No.
And then Roosevelt University, where we went to school, they made magic, and we became roommates.
Yeah. It was us and two other guys, and we found out we had some classes together, and we were both studying hospitality, and the rest is history.
That's crazy. Just a chance connection.
Truly, yeah. Super lucky that happened. And yes, that was back in, what year was that, Danny? Would have been 2010?
We graduated in 10, so like 8 or 9. I think 09 probably was
Yeah.
when we first met.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
crazy.
It's crazy.
I was thinking about this
and it feels
today.
like yesterday.
It does.
But it feels like a million years ago too. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I was thinking about it today because I was trying to remember, like, when did we first take our trip together? Like, was it just us? Was it roommates? And I think really the official first trip was Alaska. When we went, one of our roommates was a singer, actor, dancer on Royal Caribbean, and we got to go right after we graduated on an Alaskan cruise. So I think that was our first trip together.
Wow.
Yes.
Where did you go on the cruise?
We were so it was the Inside Passage, right? So we spent couple days in Seattle beforehand. And then it was a week cruise up to Juneau, Ketchikan, Skagway. And then was it Victoria? Yeah. And then
Victoria.
Yeah. What'd you think of Victoria?
So in Victoria, I was a complete psycho by the time we got to Victoria. I don't think I was talking to anyone at the end of the trip. I was like just so tired of traveling, and like it was in between me moving back to Rhode Island and like leaving Chicago, and I was just like living out of a suitcase. And like 2 weeks prior to Alaska, we were kind of bouncing around. So I was just like sick of drinking, sick of living out of a suitcase, and I don't even think I was talking to any of you guys by the time we're in Victoria, right, Danny? I was a nightmare.
It was. Yeah, that last day was pretty quiet, and the plane ride home.
Obviously,
but we remained friends.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. We remain friends. One of my favorite memories in Victoria is that we all rented. So it was the four of us. So me, Danny, and our two other college roommates. We rented scooters, and we were just scooting around Victoria. So that was really fun. And one of our friends didn't have sunglasses, and he was complaining the whole day how he couldn't see, it's so bright, da, da, da. And I had an extra pair of sunglasses the whole time, and I just refused to give it to him. And then I finally gave him the sunglasses at like lunch when I was like cooling off a little bit, and he like did the infamous Dumb and Dumber quote, like, "You've had 2 pairs of sunglasses this whole time." So I kind of broke the ice in my heart at that point.
That, yeah, took a little pressure off for sure.
That's funny. That's funny. So then you guys have obviously traveled to other places together. What were some of those other trips you took?
Yeah. I don't. I guess the next big one would have been Peru when we did Machu Picchu.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
that as a group trip through one of the companies Michaela worked for.
Yeah,
Wow.
kind of like similar to how we met with FTLO. The company I was working for was more catered to group travel for retired Americans. And as an employee, one of the perk was that you could like block off one of the departure dates, go with whoever you'd want to, you know, friends, colleagues, at a super discounted price. So that was 2014. That I ended up, you know, kind of connecting with some colleagues, saying let's do Peru, Machu Picchu. We all could bring friends, and obviously it was a no-brainer to bring Danny, because also, like, even though that was our next big trip, we've had we're like forever wedding dates, so like we have been all over the country, like domestic trips, either just traveling or being a plus ones to our friends' weddings together. So it was just like, duh, Danny's coming to Peru, let's do this.
Yeah, lots of visits too. In between, when Michaela lived in Boston, lots of visits there, lots of visits back to Chicago. So
Yeah, that's awesome. What I could imagine you two at a wedding together has to be a fun time.
we've had some memories. That Savannah wedding was pretty good.
Yeah, Savannah was good. Danny, I know, well, this is PG 18. What do we say? PG 16, so you can't get mad. At one wedding, he was dropping it low, and he was dropping it low, split his pants right down the middle. And when he realized, he turned around and like he spit his entire drink in my face from laughing at the fact that he split his pants. So
I
yeah,
was crying. I was laughing so hard. And yeah, Michaela just gave me the stares, the looks that Michaela has. She gave me one of her signature looks, and I just couldn't hold it in. It just whoosh, all over her face. And we both just started crying and just ran out of the wedding.
Oh my gosh.
You had some extra pants in your car, though. You knew that was going to happen.
I did. I had my dry cleaning still in my car. So luckily I had like almost the same pair of pants to throw on because I hadn't dropped my dry cleaning off yet. So it really worked out perfectly.
Oh, that's oh man. Yeah, what was going back to Peru? We'll have to share more wedding stories offline, maybe.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, going back to Peru, I mean, I've never been to Peru, so I'm really curious, you know, what'd you think of it? What would you recommend to someone going there?
I mean, that was, I think, for me, like Danny had done a lot of international travel before we had met. You know, he kind of had a taste of that. I feel like Peru was one of the first, maybe second or third trips, but like big significant trips for me. And it was just like so eye-opening. I was just so immediately in love with the people that we met. Like the Peruvian people are so friendly, just so happy to show us around their country or their town. And it was just a lot of like adventure, a lot of like good food, a lot of potatoes. They have so many different types of potatoes in Peru, so we ate a lot of potatoes.
Yes.
A lot of ruins, a lot of hiking, just like being really in awe of everything that Peru had to offer.
Yeah, I mean, and of course, the highlight was Machu Picchu and getting to. Luckily, Michaela knew in advance with the group to get tickets to hike. Was it Huayna Picchu? Is that the other mountain, Michaela, that
Mm.
we hiked?
Yeah, Huayna Picchu, Ueno.
Huayna
Yes, yeah.
Picchu. Yeah.
hmm So you know when you're like looking at Machu Picchu, the big like significant mountain that's in pretty much every picture, like this,
Mhm.
that's Huayna Picchu. So you can hike that, but you have to book it in advance because they limit it to X amount of people per day. And so we were there for we did 2 visits to Machu Picchu, a morning and an evening visit, which was really cool. That was part of the tour. Um, for the company I worked for. So the evening visit, I think we kind of just like bopped around and it was amazing. Danny cried. Like I couldn't breathe. I was just like, this is incredible. Like, how is this up here in like truly the top of these mountains? And
It,
there's Machu Picchu. It's unreal.
yeah, I literally, I did have a little bit of a breakdown because it was just
Yeah.
standing there and seeing everything and just, yeah, just the thought of, I don't know how this all got there and who built this. And it
Yeah.
was, yeah, it was overwhelming. So definitely a special place for sure.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. And then throw the altitude in too. And that's probably why we were emotional as well.
Yeah.
Hardly breathe, but you know, it was all
Yes.
worth it.
Yes.
But yeah, the hike was insane. Like probably the most insane hike I've ever done. Right, Danny? Like
Really?
it
Oh,
was
yeah.
unreal. Like definitely scary points of like you look over to your right and it's just like sheer cliff face, hundreds of
Yeah.
feet, like fall into oblivion.
Yeah, like very natural. There are no like sometimes
Mhm.
when you hike like in a national park or something like that, you'll everything kind of seems like okay, paved, like there's a
Mhm.
solid pathway. This was very like everybody's just hiked these couple of stairs for the last 20, 30, 100 years, whatever it's been, and there's yeah, it's just a sheer cliff off the side. As someone
Yeah.
who's afraid of heights, it was a little bit of a a little
Mhm.
bit of a struggle for me, but I made
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, you did great. You did great.
Well, I'm sure that made that, getting to the top and being there that much better too.
Mhm.
Oh my God, it was unreal. It really was because now you're towering over Machu Picchu. So you have a different kind of viewpoint. So you're looking down at Machu Picchu and you can, again, just take it all in of like, how is this
Mhm.
place real? How did this happen? What's the story? It's just, yeah, it was really just unreal. And actually, while we were up there, we saw someone get proposed to.
Proposed.
Remember that,
Yeah,
Danny?
there
Oh,
was a
wow.
Yeah.
proposal. Yeah, at the
Literally
peak.
on top of the world. Yes.
Yeah, I'll never forget because you hike all the way up there, and I just kept thinking there was going to be like this nice flat area to stand and take a picture, and all there was like a 10-step ladder to like the point of a rock that people like hung on, and
Mm-hmm.
I, I maybe
Mm-hmm.
went up there for 3 seconds and said, "That's great, I'm going back."
Very sketchy. Very
Very
sketchy for sure.
sketchy. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, there's a few of those sketchy hikes around the world. It's a little intimidating for sure, but those
It is.
viewpoints can sometimes be really worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And we had a guide, like a specific guide with us.
Hmm.
He was super friendly. And we asked him at one point, we're like, dude, how many people die like on this hike a year? Like there's no way that people don't die. And he kind of gave us a little smirk and he was like, nope, 0 people. He's like, the Peruvian government, there's 0 people. We're like, all right, so people definitely die. He's like, all right, we're here to those people die. Hopefully not a lot, but I mean, there's got to be. There was just so many points of the hike that was just crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious, but also scared to do that hike.
You could totally do it. You could totally
You
do
would
it.
be
Just like
fine.
ignorance almost was like bliss for us because we're like, yeah, whatever. We'll just do this hike. We're like what, mid-20s. We're like, whatever, no big
Yeah.
deal. And then we're
Yeah.
like, holy guacamole. You'll be fine. You're a fit guy. You got it.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, thinking about those moments where you're just in such awe when you travel, I feel like that happens a lot. What were some other times where you guys have experienced that together?
I would say for me, as like being Danny's like one of his closest friends, I really had a lot of fun watching him just like be obsessed and fall in love with the zebras. When we went on with the same company, we went to Africa. We did like a month or so around South Africa, safaris for like 3 weeks. It was again another once in a lifetime trip. And we were out in like Zimbabwe, Botswana, Zambia, and Danny, you just loved the zebras. The zebras.
I couldn't.
You loved
Yeah,
the zebras.
I just could not get enough of them. They were so beautiful, so majestic. I always thought giraffes were like my favorite animal. And then by the end of the trip, I was like, I don't even like giraffes anymore. All I want to do is see zebras. They all gathered together. We had that moment of like the sun setting and them all gathered together with like the elephants and the zebras and the giraffes like all around. And it just felt like we were in like the ending of The Lion King with just the sun setting. And like, I'm pretty sure I cried at that moment as well, too. But yeah, that trip, I mean, that's just a highlight, a bucket list trip that if anybody can do it, no hesitation. It's just something everyone has to do and see. You will be changed forever.
That's for real.
Yeah. How did you, you said it was like a month that you were there?
Yeah, because we did, you know, me and Danny like to like be extra with everything that we do. So we like went to Paris. We're like, whoa, we can't fly all the way to Africa. That's a long flight. Let's break it up with Paris. So we went to Paris for like a night or two, or like a night and 2 days to break up the flight, and then down to Johannesburg. And I think that the trip itself was like, I don't know, what was it, like 24 days plus the couple days we had in Paris. So all in all, we were gone for close to a month.
Yeah, we went in November, and it was just about the whole month. So it was worth it though. I always say when you're traveling that far, it will only be there once in my life. So you gotta do it. You gotta take the time and really enjoy it. And it was, spectacular. So yeah, we did, what did we do? Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana. Was there another one?
And I guess South Africa, because we did Cape Town afterwards. But yeah.
Oh yeah, we did shark diving in Cape Town. Yes. That was pretty cool.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was an experience.
Seriously. Another thing where I was just like, what am I doing? This is crazy.
Yeah. I don't know about the shark diving. That one freaks me out. I'm not a fan of being in the ocean in general, and then having a shark come up next to me. I don't know.
Oh no, it's like the most unnatural feeling in the world. You're like, you know, you're in the water, and this particular company, everyone I guess does it a little different, but this particular company that we went with, they would basically say, you know, sharks coming or whatever, and you would just push yourself underwater and hold your breath. We didn't have any like oxygen masks or whatever, I guess, right? So yeah, you're like, okay, you hear people screaming, and you know that a shark is coming, and you're like putting yourself underwater to watch the shark come by, and it comes out of like the murky, you know, grayness, and then all of a sudden there's a 15-foot great white shark in front of you, like eating the chum that's thrown over your head in the water that you're in. Like, what?
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. It was creepy.
Yeah.
I have anxiety just thinking about that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. One of our good friends who was on the tour with us, like, you know, no one loves sharks. Like, obviously everyone's scared to a degree. Like, I live in New England. Like, Jaws was filmed on Martha's Vineyard, and that's like basically what the beaches look like where I live. Like, I was convinced Jaws was like filmed in my backyard. Like, I'm terrified. Like, it's terrifying. And my one friend, she couldn't talk the whole time, and I'm like, are you all right? And she's like, no, like this is my biggest fear. I'm like, well, kudos to you to be here with us, but like she was like paralyzed. Like, every picture we have of her, she's just like staring into the camera with eyes wide open.
That would be me for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So was
another thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say just another thing to go in completely blind to.
Yes.
The less you know, the better, and with any of these types of things.
Yeah, definitely.
But we did. So after we went shark diving, we then went to Stellenbosch. So we had Sharks and Wine Day. That was what we themed.
Mhm.
That was the name of the day, Sharks and Wine. So on the way back, we went to Stellenbosch and treated ourselves with a day full of wine tasting. So
Okay.
that took the nerves off real quick.
Definitely.
I can get behind that part of the trip.
Exactly.
How was the wine in South Africa?
I mean, it was good. Do you remember it, Danny? I mean, that's literally how much wine
I
we
was
drank.
gonna
I'm like,
say,
it was good.
yeah, we were just ready to, and that was the last part of the trip. So let's say that was like day 22 of 26. So
Mhm.
I think by the end of it, we were like, just give me all the wine. I just swam with sharks and I survived, and all I want to do is sit in this chair and drink. Like that was basically. But no, it was very beautiful. I remember we kind of drove out, like there were mountains, and I remember it being very pretty, and they had some lovely like vineyards and things like that. But I don't specifically remember any of the wine.
I remember it was very
They're not
crisp.
good.
Very
Crisp,
crisp.
yes.
That's what they kept saying. Like, this is such crisp wine. Like, yep, just give us more. We don't care if it's crisp or not. We'll take it.
It's all good after a couple bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the trip in Africa? Was that all like with a tour company, or did you do some things on your own?
That was all with the tour company. So Paris would have been like our pre-trip to Paris was just me and Danny and our two friends. We did that on our own, and then once we got into Africa, we were with our guide the whole time. Mandela, an amazing human being. I think about him all the time. He stayed with us. He was originally from Zimbabwe, I want to say, and he stayed with us, flew on the little planes in and out of the bush. We had guides at each camp we went to, but he was our guide that stayed with us the whole time. And yeah, it was just incredible, especially to have the guides. Like, first of all, I don't even know if you could do something like that on your own, like a safari. I'm not sure. I wouldn't want to. Like the planning and the logistics alone, but like, say if you figure that out, the guides were the most amazing people I have ever met. They were so insanely knowledgeable about like every animal and like their behavior and their patterns, and like they knew where they were. Like they were just like they were priceless to have, right, Danny? And we had so much fun with them too. Like they were amazing people having fun. I'm sure they were stoked that we were like young 20-year-old people too, because usually like I'm sure older folks come through those camps. So they were definitely pumped about that. But like at one point you'd point at a bird that's flying, however high in the sky, like, what is that? As kind of as a joke, because like, how can this person know what that bird is way up there? And they knew it. They were like, oh, that's a blah 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 blah, and this, and then they would just tell you all facts about it. Like we learned so much from the guides.
Yeah, so knowledgeable. And that's when Michaela fell in love with birding as well.
Yes.
I learned that about her on that trip.
Yes, dude. Birding, that is the way to go. You can just forever, when we like you get old, like whatever, I'm gonna go here and I'm just gonna look at the birds. Like, perfect excuse to travel well into old age. Diving anymore, but I'll be sitting and watching birds and figuring out what they're doing.
While you're drinking some wine, you can do that. That sounds
yeah. I mean,
100.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. No, I don't think we could have done that trip on our own for sure. I even remember one of like the funniest things to me was we had to take we had two small planes for our group, and they maybe sat like 8 people each or something. And we were landing, and the pilot had to circle around to make sure there were no animals on just like this gravel runway that was out there. And I was like, what? I'm so like, it was just an incredible thing that you couldn't, I don't think you could really do that on your own. You'd have to hire a guide for sure.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. They said they're like, the week before or a couple days prior, there was a pack of lions that were sitting on the runway. So they had to fly over a few times to like get the lions to move so they could land the plane safely.
Oh, that's so wild. Africa seems like just such a wild place.
Oh, it is. It's so beautiful, and like it's also just fascinating to hear like perspective of like the people. Like we were there shortly after Cecil the lion was killed. Remember that whole like the whole
Yeah.
country was in an uproar.
Mhm.
And like people are freaking out here in America, like how dare you? And just hearing the perspective of the locals, like it's just so different. They're like, yeah, like sad, but like the lions are, you know, they threaten us, like they can endanger us, and they eat our livestock, which is our livelihood. You know, they're like, so we don't want to kill them, but at the same time, like we don't understand why you Americans are freaking out about this lion when in our eyes it's like one less lion that will potentially kill my livestock. Like it's
Yeah.
just, it was really, really interesting. And then I'm like, oh, I feel like a dumb American crying about this lion, you know?
I think we're all still upset about Harambe too.
Oh God, yeah. Of course.
That was so long ago now, but I heard someone talking about it the other day.
Oh man.
Funny. So then, yeah, we actually met in a different part of Africa, in Morocco.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of that trip?
Danny.
Oh,
You go
sorry.
first.
I was gonna say ladies first.
I know, you go first.
Morocco was so much fun. I mean, being part of that group again, like just how Michaela and I met, just very like a random group of people that really just came together and had a lovely time. And the people in the country were so friendly. I really enjoyed the food. Our guide, Sarah, again, props to her. She was absolutely amazing. So yeah, the whole trip, I had a wonderful time.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, for me, I think I learned so much, and I realized that I know nothing about anything, you know, and it's just like I go to these different countries and like just learning the history, the like combination of cultures that Morocco has, and all the different people from all over the world and religions and backgrounds. That was what was fascinating to me. And like the cuisine was delicious. And yeah, I had a great time. We had such a fun group, obviously, since most of us got together for Cuba a few months later. Like we just had a blast. I think aside from us getting potentially poisoned from Mona, the woman that lives in the Atlas Mountains, never maybe drink water or tea from someone who lives in the Atlas Mountains, or you might get some sort of stomach stuff, because that hit us all pretty good, which I think definitely kind of like was a bummer, but it still wasn't like a complete bummer, right? We still had a blast, even though all of us were in our own personal hell with our stomach bugs.
Yes.
I think that brought us closer together, to be honest with you.
Trauma bonding. Yeah, we trauma bonded.
Yeah.
I also loved how we were just, me and Danny were absolute insane people trying to find wine everywhere we went in a relatively dry country.
Sarah was our savior.
He really was. She lived it up. But those dudes left the Sahara Desert to get us wine, Danny. Like they drove out of the desert to go get us wine.
You are such a convincing woman. You talked them into driving to town in a dry country to find wine at 8 o'clock at night.
And then we're all like huddled in our tents. Kyle, you came in at one point. We're all like passing around the bottle of wine like we were teenagers, like sneaking alcohol, when really we were just grown adults, just so excited to have some wine in the middle of the desert.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Being out there in the desert has to be one of my favorite travel memories, especially when we were all in the tent there, drinking and talking and everything. That was one of those moments where you're just like, you know what, this is it.
Yeah.
So unreal. What did you think about the camel ride though, Kyle? I was kind of freaked out on the camel.
I don't know. I had ridden a camel before. And so I kind of knew what I was getting into. I thought it was fine. I mean, I've ridden horses a a lot of my life, and camels
Gotcha.
are far less comfortable and enjoyable than a horse. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. What do you think?
Oh my God, no, I was not having the best time because I was just couldn't get out of my own head. I think because like, well, they're like how they walk is pretty awkward, but then the
Yeah,
slipping of the sand, like I had just had to like trust that they knew what they were doing because obviously they do. They're camels that live in the desert or are always in the desert. So I was like, they'll be fine. This will be fine. But it was just felt so scary at times when he would like slip, and I think he was getting tired. Danny, you named my camel. Do you remember his name? Do you remember our camels' names?
I don't know. What did we name? I know. I can't remember.
I think you named him Marcus or something. Marcus and something. I don't remember. So I was just talking to him the whole time, like whatever name Danny gave him. I was like, "You got this, buddy. Like we're almost there."
Yeah. Yeah, I think I loved the camel ride. I just thought it was something, I don't know, fun and different and something
Mhm.
I had never done before.
Mhm.
But yeah, I agree. Like it kept feeling like I was gonna just roll like over, just like slide
Yeah,
off the
Yeah.
camel. I was like, hang on, okay, oh go right, oh lean left, oh lean right, lean forward. You know, so
And we're
my
high up,
legs
so
are
they're
yeah,
tall.
yeah, you
that's
don't
all.
realize when they're sitting down and then they make them stand up and you're like, okay, we are up in the
Yeah,
air.
yeah. I was a little surprised they didn't have stirrups on those saddles at all. Uh,
Yeah,
you're just kind of you had to hang on there, otherwise you're
Yeah.
gonna slip off.
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Barebacking it all the way.
Yeah, that was wild though. I mean, just to be out there in the Sahara Desert and riding a camel and playing in the sand, it's just
Yeah.
yeah, such a wild moment.
So
Yeah, I
fun.
found sand. I was rolling around in the sand because
You
I just
were.
thought it was fun. And I think I still have some sand in my luggage.
Yeah, that's the bad thing about sand is you almost never get rid of it.
Yeah, it'll be here forever.
Good souvenir.
Well, you
Uh,
know where it might be somewhere forever. My luggage might be somewhere forever because I still haven't got my luggage back from that
oh
Morocco
my
trip.
gosh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Gosh, yeah. I think it's somewhere in the Delta keeps telling me it's somewhere in Paris. So it's somewhere there, and maybe someday I'll get it back and maybe I'll find some sand in my suitcase. We'll see.
Yeah, next
Wow.
time we go, next time we go to Paris, we'll look around for your luggage.
Seriously.
Good excuse to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wild. I can't believe it just got completely lost. That's
I
crazy.
know. But you know, I'm on this I feel like a very like suburban soccer mom because I'm on part of this Facebook group that's like Air France lost my luggage, and it is entertaining, so entertaining. But also it's also like it gives me like hope because people will get their luggage back months later. Like just they'll come home and their luggage will just be at their front door like it was magically delivered to their house. So I'm gonna
Wow.
hold out hope that that's gonna happen for me.
Dang. Was there any souvenirs or anything important in there?
Well, there was, and that's what I'm bummed about. Like
Wow.
clothes, whatever, yeah, but like all of our like stuff from the tannery, like the leather slippers, leather wallet, that cool
Yeah.
painting, the guy who painted it with the fire,
Oh
that
yeah.
guy,
Yeah.
that was in there. So yeah, it's a
Dang, that's a
bummer.
bummer.
It's a
Wow.
bummer, but that's okay. I have the memories. The memories will live on.
Yeah.
Forever and ever.
Have you guys I guess on that note, have you had any other like maybe not so fun times or maybe some travel issues like that when you've traveled together?
Us
Um,
traveling together, I think we're usually pretty good, I think, when we're together. I can't really, yeah. Do you remember anything specific, Michaela?
I mean, we have like so since we've been such close friends for so long, it's like pretty much like a domestic partnership at this point, right? Like even though we live
Yeah.
apart and like it's definitely like we just get each other now at this point. So like the earlier years, like when I was in Alaska, like that trip in Alaska, I don't know why my friends are still my friends after the way I was like behaving. But like that was one of our first trips, so we were like kind of figuring it out. So now we kind of know when we need space, maybe when we need like our alone time, or when we really want to be together, or like stuff. It's just kind of like an unknown thing now, or an unspoken understanding, and it's such a nice place to be there with someone who I obviously enjoy traveling with and I love and adore, and we just get each other. It's really great. And like I might snap at him and he might snip at me, and then like 5 minutes later we're laughing and moving on. Like it's not a big deal at this point. The only thing actually, now I'm remembering, this is the one point of contention that we have a lot when we travel together. Do you know what I'm going to say?
I think so, but say it.
To carry his things. So first it will start with, can you carry my sunglass case? Oh, sure, no problem. Of course. I have a fanny pack or a backpack. And then like 5 minutes later, oh, can you hold my 3 cell phones? Okay, fine, whatever. Oh, what about this chapstick? Oh, I'm gonna buy this souvenir. And finally I'm like, listen, I'm not your Sherpa. Get your own bag. I'm done. So I think I allot him now like one thing a day I will carry of his, and he needs to be responsible for the rest of his own things.
Yes, which has grown, because originally it was, this is my bag and this is my stuff. You carry your own stuff. So we've evolved, we've grown as we've gotten older. Now I started carrying the backpack as well, so I think that helped this last trip in Morocco and stuff like that. I said, okay, I'm gonna put this in there, but I'll carry the bag. Don't worry about it.
Perfect deal for me. I love it. Yep, put whatever you want in it.
Yeah.
That's so nice when you got someone that you can travel with, and you guys understand each other, and work well together as a team as you're traversing a new place.
Yeah, it's, people are kind of a little different on vacation. So you might, be with someone at home, one of your friends, and then you travel with them, and it's a whole different learning experience. So I'm very lucky that Michaela has been so great when we travel with me, because we both have our moments, like she said.
Yeah, that's really important to making a good trip is having the good people around you. If you travel with someone who maybe you guys aren't into the same things at all, different schedules or ways of doing things, it can be a real issue and make a trip not very fun.
Yeah, we just are always on the same page, and it's great. And like I always feel safe and comfortable with him, and like vice versa, which I think is always a really important thing to have when you're traveling, is someone that is like reliable, trustworthy, right, and all that stuff. But also I just know that he's a good time. So even if I'm like sleeping on the bus for 8 hours straight to into the Sahara Desert because I could not keep my eyes open, Danny's all good, right? Like he's all good. He's holding his own. He's all set. Like he's not a liability, a basic. It's nice that I can trust him with that.
Yes, I won't do anything bad to you while you're sleeping, don't worry. Except I want to draw a mustache on you or something. I do take some photos though sometimes, because I think it's funny to send photos of you sleeping to all my friends.
Yes. Well, your girl likes to sleep, so I can't blame you.
She loves a nap, she loves to sleep, and I love a hotel lobby bar, so it works.
There you go. What do you guys have any trips together coming up?
So I'm going out to Chicago, I guess in 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'll be headed out there to see Danny. I'm going with my mom and my 8-year-old niece. It'll be her first time to Chicago, and then we're meeting our college roommate, one of the kids, the guy who I didn't share my sunglasses with in Alaska. He's still part of our life, and he and his wife, who's also our best friend, they're gonna come out with their kids. So it'll be a different Chicago trip for sure. Not going to the bars until 4 a.m. like we used to in our 20s. We're gonna have a couple kids in tow. and go to some what are you bringing us to, the ice cream museum or something, Danny? So it'll be
The
very
Museum of
funny.
Ice Cream,
Oh.
Endememics, Navy Pier. I'm trying to find some kid-friendly activities for sure.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate that. But I definitely, I'm telling you, I'm still holding strong. We got to take those kids to a drag brunch on Sunday.
Yes, I have one in mind, so we'll figure it out for sure.
Got to start their education early.
Yeah. Yeah. And then in November, we're going to go back to South America, to Quito, to do the Amazon, right?
Yeah, Ecuador.
Yeah.
The
Ecuador,
Amazon,
that's it.
the
I couldn't think of
Ecuador,
it.
yeah, the Ecuadorian Amazon, I guess would be the way to describe it. So yeah, we're gonna fly into Quito, and then it's about a week heading eastward. So yeah, away from the coast, all through the Amazon. And our friend Sarah is joining us, Kyle. She joined the trip.
Oh,
with us.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Is
it's
that with a tour company as well?
It is. Yep. So that's with a different tour company, not FTLO like we usually travel with. So it'll be a group of us, and we also convinced 2 other friends to join us. So we'll have a group of what's that, 5 or 6 of us.
Yeah, we should be like half the trip, so I'm kind of excited.
Yeah. Kind of what we did in Cuba, like just take up half of the trip and then make some new friends.
Yeah, I thought that worked out perfect. I'm really sad, Danny, that you couldn't be there.
I know. I know. Work, whatever.
Yeah, lame. But yeah, just I think having a group of people that you're already friends with is awesome, especially when you haven't seen each other in a few months. And then I feel like it makes it, or can make it, easier for the other people on the trip to kind of join the fold a little bit and just have a really good group.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I was a little nervous of the opposite. My mind was getting a little worried that like we would come in and like the other travelers would feel like intimidated or any sort of way that we all knew each other. But you're right, that's exactly what happened, Kyle. Like Chris will even say, he's like, no, as soon as you all rolled in, like good vibes, friendly, like laughing, he's like, that's like you set the tone, and he was appreciative of it, which I think everyone else at that point too. So I agree, it's doing that, so hopefully that will be the same experience in November in Ecuador.
Yeah,
I could see it going the other way, like you said, but I think with our group we were just so kind of open and welcoming anyways. I wasn't worried about that at all.
Right. Oh, what a trip. That was so great. Again, Yvonne, like our guides, like I love traveling. Obviously, I love seeing new places, but every single guide I've ever met around the world has had a special place in my heart. And I just adore Yvonne. Danny, we'll go to Cuba just so you can meet him. He is such an amazing person. You'd love him.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I need to make my attempt to go.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's still talking to us in the group chat too, which is fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, great.
Well, cool. Any other travel stories to share that are not rated R?
No, I think I just like, I feel very lucky. Danny and I are both in our mid-30s at this point. And
I'm gonna still say early 30s.
Yeah, I'm still like forever 28 years old in my mind, but
yes.
We're mid-30s, and I just feel super lucky that I found someone my age with similar living situation. We're single, we like to travel, we like to spend our money on traveling, and we've done some fun stuff like we've shared, and we also took a helicopter ride to the Mendenhall Glacier in Alaska outside of Juneau. We did some glacier trekking, and we've done zip lining. Like we've just done all this really adventurous stuff, and I urge everyone, if they have an interest of traveling or seeing a certain place or experiencing something new, just go do it. If you have a friend, that's great. If not, like it's just as we all know, travel's life-changing. So, and I'm just happy to have Danny by my side with all my travels.
Yeah. Go in with an open mind and looking forward to meeting new people, and you'll always have a good time.
Eating new things like bugs in Africa.
Yeah. Guinea pigs in Peru.
Yeah.
What else? Camel in Morocco.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's terrible to think about.
I'm gonna get you a map and just write the things that we've eaten in each country.
Honestly, that'd be kind of cool. I mean, there's so many interesting things you can eat around the world.
Yeah.
Seriously. Puffin when I was in Iceland, like that was sad for me. But it's like, when in Rome, when in Iceland, I'll eat this cute little bird. Let's go.
Gotta try it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, it's really cool to to see the friendship that's evolved over the years, and you guys still are traveling together, and I would guess that's probably made you a lot closer to travel together too.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, for sure. Those tents and bathrooms in Africa brought us closer than I ever wanted to be.
Yeah, there wasn't much privacy there.
Oh my God, no. We kept saying that especially when we were in Africa for the not our Morocco trip, when we were in South Africa on our safari, there were all these like super sexy showers, right, Danny? Like,
Yes.
like obviously, like you would think that they were made for like honeymooners, like in the middle of the room, no shower curtains, just a shower. And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, like I'm gonna need 30 minutes. You got to step out of this tent. Like I can't unless you want to sit here and watch me shower, which I know you don't. But
Nope.
yeah, there were so many sexy showers that we've had to navigate as friends
over the years. Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. It's kind of funny too. I always think about that. Like the rules when you're traveling are a little bit different than your normal life. Like that's something I would never even dream of just in my normal life of doing. But then when you're traveling, it's like, well, okay, it is what it is. You got to make do with what we got.
Exactly.
But brings about good memories and things you'll never forget for the rest of your life.
For sure.
Oh my gosh,
sure. So many good memories.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, Michaela and Danny, thank you guys for sharing your experiences. We'll have to do the rated R version another time when it won't go out to the masses, but
after hours, like you can do like a whole different podcast, different
after hours travel stories. Plenty of those
sexy shower stories.
Yes.
Every episode could be a different theme.
Oh,
sexy showers, Grinder abroad, Bumble abroad. We've got them for you. Let us know.
Oh man, yeah, definitely over some wine. I'm in for that podcast. Well, thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it. This was a ton of fun. I'm glad the tech all worked out on this. And yeah, really looking forward to traveling with you both again soon.
Definitely.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. It was wonderful.
Yeah, a lot of fun, Kyle. Thank you.
Of course, anytime. Well, yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and enjoy the trip in Chicago in a couple weeks.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, we'll send you pics.
Yeah, please do.
Definitely.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Bye, Kyle. Bye,
Bye, Kyle. Bye, Michaela.
Hey everybody, Kyle here. If you enjoyed today's show and want more, you can always check out every episode on Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, and now Amazon Music as well. Just search for Our Travel Experiences on any of those platforms and it will pop up. You can also find everything all in one place on my website, ourtravelexp.com. And if you want to see my travel pictures as well as travel pictures from guests on the show, you can check them out on Instagram. The page is called Our Travel Experiences Podcast. And if you want to share your own pictures on the Instagram page or be a guest on the podcast, you can message me via that Instagram page or email me at ourtravelexperiences@outlook.com. I would love to see your pictures and hear about your travel experiences, so please send them my way. And if that isn't enough for you, make sure to check out my weekly YouTube show, From Around the World Fridays. Every Friday, I'm taking 5 to 10 minutes to answer questions from listeners, share some souvenirs that I bought over the years, share my postcards over the years that I've accumulated, or share videos and pictures from one particular city or country that I visited, and so much more. So check it out, guys. You won't be disappointed. And make sure you go subscribe to that as well. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you somewhere around the world soon.